Rax, El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the revival.
Yeah, what's going on? Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, aka Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment, man. And thank you for spending your afternoon with us, especially Friday, man. It should be lunchtime for some of you guys, so listen up, stay tuned. We'll keep you guys entertained for your lunch break. And of course, here, man, I'm here with my family, my brothers, my compadres. You guys know who they are, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Speed if you nasty now.
Let's go. Let's go.
And I'm here with my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka what is this?
This
is man's in the building with a new guy, new character. All here today for you guys, man. I'm digging the whole Ringo Starr vibe thing going here. I'm really digging this.
Thank you. This is Heffalosopher. It's so uncatchy that I have to stay with it. I think it's.
You gotta keep it. When I saw it, actually, when you posted, I was like, man, really, this is like some Negro Damas with El Jefe version.
I'm only getting weirder, guys. So buckle up.
Love it.
It's awesome.
Love it.
But guys, welcome to the show, man. We're gonna make the show very quick for you guys because we're just going over the schedule, man. We're going to mark down which one's wins, which one's losses. Get in the chat and what you think, because it could be different from us, man. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident about the schedule. You guys don't be scared. Calm the hell down. But let's pop it up, man. Let's have some fun, man. What you got, man? We'll start with Spiro on this, too.
Dude, I mean, listen, after the draft, there's not a lot going on, but we wait for this particular day yesterday to kind of to make our ridiculous predictions, but also you plan your fake trips that you're going to go on. You plan with your friends what games you guys are planning to go to. You figure out. I plan my whole fall and winter season, 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance. So it's exciting times, man. I wait for the schedule to come out every year. It's ridiculous, but I love it. I love it.
I think the NFL has an incredible way of making a 4.5 month season last all year long. Like 100%. They always got like they're dangling a carrot always that you got to reach for. As soon as the draft wraps up, well, fuck yeah, we got the schedule in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So it's exciting because it's content for us to react to. It's something. So when they have like these mini camps or whatever, you're just dying for a video of DJ throwing a pass to Waller in practice with no pads and no defenders. You will take anything you can get. So the schedule, you could start piecing together how this season may or may not go. Obviously, it's a pointless exercise, but it's a damn good time, and it gives us something to talk about. So I'm here for it. And real quick, before we move on, I just want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you. Yes. I see you, AB. I met AB at a tailgate. He's a very good dude. Our former fan of the month, Jay Singh. How you doing, baby?
Mm-hmm.
Violet Sutton in the house. I think Violet was first.
What about our current
in the seats.
fan of the month?
Yeah, Monty, baby.
Hey,
Monty. Mello. Shout out to Mello. Big Blue
Mello.
Knockout.
Mello.
Guys, go follow Big Blue Knockout. New show by Mello, Dayuno, Stas. They're crushing it. The Twitter Spaces. We love those guys, good friends of the show. We got to have them on soon, but definitely go follow Big Blue KO. Who else we got here? TJ in the chat.
Let's see. TJ, Sarge. Who else we got?
I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Got a house full. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Chaz, of course.
Everybody loves this time of year, man. It's the funniest thing, man. It's just like we can't predict the schedule, but we are going to predict the schedule.
We will.
Put your name to something.
Oh, we're going to predict this thing right to the tooth and nail, all right?
You want to put your name next to something, you know?
What a colossal waste of time. Let's do it.
So listen, guys, let me ask you this, because I do this all show, but this is all off the cuff here. And I'm going to start with El Jefe here. El Jefe. I'm sorry, what is it? Hefa?
Exactly. You're going to trip over it every time.
Hefadamus.
And that is...
Hefadamus. Hefadamus. Hefadamus here. All right? Hefa philosopher. All right?
I like that. Any version you want.
Listen, after some beers, after some beers, which we'll be going this Tuesday, guys, in an undisclosed location. I'm sure everybody knows our favorite spot at this time. Come on through, say hi, all right? But still, all right, come on through. We're here. We're gonna be with the guys anyway. But anyway, I'm sure after a few drinks, we're gonna be like, anaphylacticus. I'm sure we're gonna say everything wrong.
I mean, acoustic douche. Acoustic douche was pretty straightforward. That became
pretty straightforward.
It was.
Or douche guitar. Then he was goosh, and I think he's just. I think his name.
He's everything. But listen, I'm gonna ask you guys, man. Listen, are you scared, man? I'm gonna start with you, Hef, man. You scared of the schedule by looking at it before we break it down? Just overview.
Do you want to bring it up, or what do you think?
No, let's pop it. Let's pop it up for the people, man. And just looking at it for full breeze. Are you guys scared of this schedule? Looking at it right now. Are you scared of the opponents?
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
I ain't scared.
That's what I like to hear, man. Speed. How about you?
Listen, am I scared? No. It's. I put out a tweet. It's time to find out. It's a show me season right now. Show me what you guys got. Show me that last year wasn't a fluke. Show me that Jones, you could be that guy versus good defenses. I'm not scared. I'm welcoming this. I'm welcoming it. No matter what happens, I'm welcoming this schedule. I want it all. I want the toughest teams. Last year, it's like you had success. Well, you know what? You had success against bad teams. There was that excuse that everybody used. You beat bad teams. Now, it's it. That's it. If we have a good schedule this year, this is it, man. This is it. We have arrived. So,
I love where Spiros had his at, and I liked that tweet yesterday. Like, we're gonna find out, right? You fuck around, you find out.
Yeah.
So people keep forgetting, this is not last year's Giants that have a brand new coaching staff, new players, new systems everywhere. Now we're building off of what was a good season. There's a foundation. DJ doesn't have to learn a new system for like the first time in his fucking career, besides Jason Garrett, which is the worst system in the NFL. So this is not, and we didn't lose anyone of importance. No one is losing sleep over anybody we lost. The only guy I would say that I would have liked to see come back, but I understand why they didn't pay him, is Julian Love, because I think he's a good depth guy, great giant, good locker room guy, all those things. But the Giants didn't lose any stars. We have limited stars. They're all coming back. And they're building. They added great weapons, but this offense is going to expand. Like it ran through Barkley because it had to. It's not going to be that way this year. They can open it up and game plan and expand the playbook. So it's going to be I am more confident and high on the Giants than maybe most people. But the schedule is the schedule. It's out of our control. By the time the game starts, you might have to travel more here and there, but by the time the game starts, it's about what your coach prepared you to do and the players on the field. So give me the Giants 11 times out of 17 this year.
I totally agree. And let me say this too, man. Just looking at it, if this was last year's Giants and I looked at the schedule, I'm like, man, we're in trouble. Because last year was such an unknown. We didn't really know what was going to happen. You know what I mean? As far as that season. I mean, looking at that schedule last season and where the Giants, we were like, man, it might be trouble. We were still a little worried, but they plugged in so many holes. They got in more defensive line help. They got a cornerback in the draft. They got a great tight end in Waller. They still got all these wide receivers coming in that's going to contribute that they signed via free agency as well. Guys, this is a better team. We got a center, you know what I mean? So we this is a better team going into this. So to think that this is the same old Giants that has to, like you said, Hefe, run through Saquon Barkley is sadly mistaken. I think Daniel Jones is going to make that leap. I think this offense is going to be even more explosive. And I think Wink Martindale, the fact that he got that corner that's going to shut down some of these guys, he can send the blitz package a little bit more, rotate Okera K. We still have Roche coming in. Guys, this is going to be an explosive defense as well. I think it just might even find another level. You know what I mean? At this point. So I think this is a different team going in here. And I ain't scared of none of these teams walking in. Will there be some losses? Absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll break that down. But I'm telling you right now, this is not the same Giants. I'm thinking damn good record this season, man. And I'm gonna start with Mr. Glass Half Full, man. Let's start with game 1 at home versus Dallas, September 10th, man. Who do you got?
Well, let's first throw some stats at the people, because I know some people like stats out here, right? Right now, we're looking at the third hardest schedule, strength of schedule based off of last year. It's there. Those are the numbers. You can't give a full, too much credit to last year, too much emphasis on last year, but it is what it is. These are the numbers. We're traveling 2,000 more miles than last year. This is an extensive trip, doing a lot of traveling around. And then the biggest thing, 6 primetime games. 6 primetime games this year, which you could read that however you want. A lot of Giants get worried because, we aren't typically a big primetime team, but that the NFL thinks that we're going to be a very watchable product.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put a team on primetime 6 times if you don't think they're going to be watchable. They're going to bring eyes. So 2 holiday games, Christmas and New Year's Eve. It's going to be a wild year, man. It's going to be a wild year. So just throwing some things out. Hefe's got one too.
Let me piggyback off that. I know you could say history says we're a bad primetime team. Well, over the last decade, we've been like a bottom 5 team in the NFL. So it's not just primetime. Primetime is not our problem. Football, football was our problem. So yes, I know those stats aren't good, but the people that say schedule is brutal, here's what they're going off of, and they have good points. There are 5 sets of back-to-back road games. Okay. By far the worst in the league. No other team has more than 3 of those. Giants have 5. Okay. On 3 short weeks, meaning you play Sunday night or Monday into the next week, or you have a Thursday game. The second game is a road game. Okay. We have the second worst net rest differential. What does that mean? Great question. I'm not going to get into it.
Give it to us.
But it means how much calculated rest a team has versus their opponent. The Giants have the second worst in the league, which means vast majority of the time, Giants will have less rest than the people they are playing. Obviously a disadvantage. The schedule, like this is clearly built against the Giants, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care because you know what? Know who had to travel the most like year in and year out? Is Seattle because they're in the bumblefuck of the country and they don't care. For a lot of years, they had a lot of success because they were well coached and they were the better football team. And that matters more than, rest matters. Don't get me wrong, but traveling, being on the road, by the time it's game time, that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. It's out the window.
It's out the window. It's just, it's like, how well prepared are you? That's it.
One more stat, 7 out of 10 to start the year on a road. First time in NFL history, a team has had to do that. So this is unprecedented. But, and again, I relate this to when, and whoever is golfers, whoever's a golfer out there can relate to it. When the pin placement on a certain day is just terrible. And you say, who pissed in this guy's Cheerios that he's going to put the pins in terrible placements on every hole? Who pissed in the schedule makers Cheerios? I don't know. Probably John Mara when he complained about the schedule last year. That's neither here nor there. But we got the schedule. It is what it is. But let's, fuck it. Enough is enough with the talk. Enough with the stats. Let's get into it. Dallas, week 1, in my opinion, the most important game on the schedule right off the fucking bat. Right off the bat.
It could set the tone.
You hate to say that it's a must-win right off the bat, but it sets the tone for the whole fucking season. If you beat Dallas, a team that everybody expects us to be behind, everybody thinks that there's still a huge gap. You beat Dallas week 1, you get a chance to go to Arizona week 2 and start off 2-0 when you're heading to San Francisco. Monster change, and then it gives you that confidence that you could beat these second-tier teams or these elite teams in the NFC. So for me, huge game. I have it as a W. I think it's so massive to get off of that good start. And I think it sets the tone for the whole season. So I have it as a W. E, what do you got, man? First game.
Listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like you said, Speed, it is a very critical game going into there. You don't want to start the season like, oh, my God, this is so important. Yes, this is the important game. This is going to set the tone of our season and what this football team is capable of doing throughout the entire season. Yep. Dallas is a very beatable team for the Giants. I think they match up very well. I got that game a W. The Giants are going to come in here and they're going to crush, man. I think they're going to really do their thing against Dallas. I think they're going to run the ball very well. I think you're going to see a lot of DJ and packaging going on. You're going to see the very explosive offense. They're going to keep up with this offense. Something is telling me the Giants are going to win at least by 10 points here. Something's just telling me. And then when you go down, like you said, into Arizona, you might not have Kyler Murray there. So that could easily be a dub too, but we'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that. But I see the Giants winning by 10 here, and I think it's going to be in great fashion where he's going to put the league on notice like, okay, the Giants is here. Dayball is here. Wink is here. Kafka's here. The Giants is that team for the year. So I think they're going to come in and dominate the Dallas Cowboys at home. Whatever, by 10 points. I don't even know what the score is going to be yet. I'm not even
You
there
don't have to
yet,
give scores. It's all right.
But I
We
say
got-
it's
we
about
got
10
time.
points, man.
We got time
for sure.
we got time for score predictions. But I'm with you. I think we put an end to the curse that Dak has had. Dak has absolutely dominated the Giants.
Owned.
Fucking dominated. It's something like 11-1 or something fucking disgusting like
It's
that.
stupid.
Yeah.
He has dominated. So I think that ends because for a couple of reasons, we have a full offseason to build off of last year, as opposed to instating everything for the first time and like page 1 of the playbook. Like that shit's over. You have something to build off now. Not only that, Dallas lost their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
McCarthy is calling plays now. I don't think McCarthy is a good coach.
No.
Side note, thank God Dallas has had Jason Garrett and McCarthy for the last 15 plus years because they've had enough talent to win Super Bowls and they've had dog shit coaches. I don't think McCarthy gives them an advantage in any way.
No.
Right? We have the advantage. We have the fucking coach. So I think we win that game week 1. And Cardinals are one of those teams that you want to catch them early in the season because Kyler Murray may not be there, like you said. So that's a team that you like catching. If you got to play a road game, let it be Cardinals early. And then San Fran is a great test. Like, you're looking at the first 3 games, considered by many, Seattle, San Fran, and Dallas are like top 6 teams in the NFC, basically across the board. So you're getting good tests right off the bat. But guess what? We were in the fucking dance last year, and we can compete with them. So I want to find out right off the bat who we are, like Spiro's been saying. And I think this is a fun start to the season, and we're going to take Dallas down on Sunday Night Football.
Let me just add this on Dallas too. 2 things actually. One, you're catching Dallas right off the bat with what could be a new. It's not going to be a different offense in that we're not going to go from like West Coast to like pro style or want to go. You're going to have the same offense, but we have so many different pieces that we're going to throw some new shit at whoever our week 1 opponent is. It's good that it's Dallas. They don't have any film on what our new offense is going to look like. You're throwing Waller, you're throwing Hyatt, you're throwing Paris Campbell at them, but they don't know how they're going to be used. You catch them off guard week 1. That is the time that you get an upset. You know, there's no tape on this new squad right now. And the second thing is, where did we get smoked by Dallas last year? On the ground, they just ran all over us.
Yep.
What was our point of emphasis this offseason?
Stop the run.
Okereke. You got Ashawn Robinson, Nacho. You got DJ Davidson back. You got Beavers back. We are primed and ready to stop this exact thing. So I like the matchup in there. So that's Dallas. Let's go. Let's get it going here. But you know what, Arizona? Do we need to spend a ton of time on them? If we don't defeat an Arizona team that's going to be without Kyler Murray, we might as well fold up shop,
Yeah. And we don't even have to dive into every game specifically because obviously it's
we all got it chalked up, right?
You can look at this in like groups of 3 or 4 games and like what you're looking at. And these are tough tests off the bat, like going San Fran, Seattle, Miami, who had the best wide receiver duo in the league. Like they're good offense and they were fun to watch last year. So you got to see what kind of shape Tua is in if they can snap right back to that. That's a fun test. Yep. Buffalo's going to be a lot of hype about that. Going to Buffalo, at least it's not going to be 0 degrees. It's in mid-October, so it'll be all right. But with all the Dable and Shane connections to Buffalo, you got to figure they've got some inside information on what goes on there and maybe some advantage of how to beat them.
Are we catching Buffalo on the downside too? Is their window like their roster is not as good as it's been in previous years? So it might be time to catch a team like them off guard. You stop Josh Allen, you could win. You can win that game. You got to win. In my opinion, one of those two, you got to surprise one of those 2 teams, either the Dolphins or Buffalo. If you want to get to a 9+ win season, you got to upset somebody in there. Like, San Francisco, Miami, or Buffalo. You got to have 1 upset in there, maybe even 2. Then you start looking at 10+ if you can get 2 in that range. So, and I think San Francisco, we don't know what their quarterback situation is. It's been mentioned in the chat. Shout out chat, shout out all you guys out there. Been mentioned it. We don't know if it's going to be Sam Darnold. We don't know if it's going to be Trey Lance. Brock Purdy's out. So, he's got the elbow issue. You don't know what they're throwing at us. And that person's going to take some time to get acclimated to that offense. You catch San Francisco on a short week because it's short for them too. It's not just short for us. We are going to be on the West Coast already. Logic says that we're going to be in Arizona. Stay out there.
Just stay there. Yep.
Right. Just stay out there. Get some team building going on.
Absolutely.
And you could sneak a fucking victory out in there.
That's how you take the sting out of a short week road game. Just stay there.
And
It's a
it's funny.
business trip.
It's exactly Speed. You hit the nail on the head, man. It's like they're gonna be in the same kind of time zone, right? So
Yes.
you just sit there and do what you got to do, team build, work on your game plan. Let's go right over to San Fran at that point.
Let's
You know
go.
what I mean?
Let's go.
And then you could dominate. So I think the Giants have the upper hand. And you're right. What quarterback is going to be back there? We don't know. But the one thing I do trust is Kyle Shanahan. A very smart
for sure.
coach, man. It reminds
Not
me of
gonna
Brian
be-
Daboll, the way they coach.
Great
You know,
roster,
they
too.
coach to the exactly. They coach their players to their potential all the time, and these are great coaches. So the only person I'll be like a little worried about is Kyle Shanahan. Can he prep that quarterback to do well? Is it Trey Lance? Is it Sam Darnold? And they can kind of sneak one out, but. Let's look at it really quick, guys, because it's a long list. But we got Dallas dub, right?
We're gonna make some predictions here too, right? Like let's all get. I'm gonna write them down. I got my little
write them all
book over
down
here, and so I have currently. Let's go 3 games. The first 3 games I have. Let's say 1 and 2. I'm gonna say 1 and 2 just for our. 2 and 1. Win at Dallas, win at Arizona, and then lost to San Francisco. Just to chalk it up 2 and 1 for me. What you got, E?
You guys gonna think I'm crazy. You guys really gonna think I'm crazy. But I see 3 and 0. I see 3 and 0. I see the Giants 3 and 0. For some reason, I see the Giants 3 and 0 starting, and we're gonna be like, holy freaking cow! The Giants are here. We're different. This is our team, and we're gonna put the league on notice. I just have a feeling.
And by the way, chat, get involved too. I see you out there, Mello. I see you out there, Rich. Hefe, what you got for the first 3 games?
I'm going 2 and 1, and I
2 and 1.
have. I told you, and I'm not running from it. I said it, and I'm sticking with it. 11 and 6. So I got my 6 losses. I know who they are, and San Fran is one of them. So 2 and 1 start.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so moving on, we got Seattle game. It's gonna be a tough one. I put them in the same tier that the Giants and Cowboys are in behind. They're the second tier in the NFC. You know, you have the Eagles, you have San Francisco. And I put them in I guess in the tier their own. Then I have, Seattle, Giants, Dallas,
Yep.
And who knows if Green Bay can work their way in there. Saints can maybe work their way in there. But I think the Seattle Seahawks, I think Pete Carroll's building a fucking nice little team out there, man. So it's going to be a tough one. What do you guys got on Seattle?
I think we get revenge. We beat Seattle. at
Okay.
home.
So you got 3. You're up to 3 and 1 now. E, what you got?
Unfortunately, this will be our first loss against Seattle,
Okay.
man. I think that team is just well put together,
Solid
man.
team.
Coach Carroll, amazing coach, man. It's a great roster. Unfortunately, I think that's our first loss.
What can I say? I like the way you're put together.
Hey, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a tough fought game. We lose by like 2 points, 3 points. It's gonna be so close.
Yeah.
Tough fought game. We're gonna be bound with these guys. I'd like to chalk up to the one thing we got going for us. They're coming out here, so
Mhm.
we have that as a plus. But I'm gonna chalk it up to a loss. I got 2 and 2. You guys are both at 3 and 1. Moving on to Miami. Hefe, Heifer Dollars, Hefalafel,
$100. $100. Yo, $100 sound way better, right? This is like $100. $100 sound good. I like that. I like $100.
Heferdopoulos. What you got for this game, Miami?
Miami is a win. You know who knows Tua pretty well? It's Coach Dable, and he's going to be meeting with
I
Wink
like it.
all day, all night on how to minimize what he is good at.
Okay.
Those dual wide receiver threats. The Giants are going to have a good game plan. That's a win.
Okay. E, what you got for the Miami game?
Miami Dolphins, man. I see us getting a dub on that, man. I think we're
Okay.
very evenly matched. I think we're well put together down there. There's some ways. It's going to be Miami, nice weather. Giants going to come home with the dub, man.
Giants
That's
come
easy.
home with dub. I got a dub there too. I got 3 and 2. You guys both got 4 and 1. They have to take one of these AFC East games in that little bunch.
yeah.
But because the next one is at Buffalo, which going to Buffalo is always tough. Also a New York team, by the way. They are part of the revival. We don't often talk about them, but they're
Fringe.
part of.
They're a fringe
They're a
revival.
fringe New York revival.
Yeah.
They might as well be Canadian team, but it's either here or there. What do you guys got for the Buffalo game here? Give me something.
I got a loss.
Yep.
I got a
Go.
loss.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a loss. That team, man.
Okay.
Like you said, it may be on the downward side, but they're still a damn good roster and they're still a damn good team.
So Josh Allen.
Yeah, man. They still got Josh
And-
Allen. So
and Diggs.
I can't bet against
Yep.
that right now. I can't.
we got to hold on. Let's Tana is out here saying that it's his surprise win of the year for the Giants. Okay.
Wow.
Listen, Would
Okay.
anybody be too shocked if it happened? No, because listen, you look at Buffalo's team last year. They had a couple road bumps. They lost to a bad Jets team at the time. So they can be beat. They can be
They
beat.
can be had. They can be had.
Mello, I think Mello said this.
Mello,
This is his first
5-1
loss. I
so
think
far.
he said.
Wow.
But he likes a 5-1 start.
Okay.
Okay.
And Hefe, what do you have over here?
I got that as a loss, right? You can't go
Yeah.
17-0, so that's
Fair.
that's one that I'm chalking up to a loss. So I think I'm
Yeah.
4-2.
Yeah. You guys are 4-2. I'm 3-3. I'm going to call this a loss.
Okay.
Again, I think what we're doing is closing the gap on these good teams. It's going to be a tough loss. We're going to lose by less than a touchdown. Maybe 6 points, call it 4 points. But I think that we're going to battle. We're going to see where our defense stands in this kind of game. You guys see where your defense stands. Can you shut down a Diggs? Can you shut down a Josh Allen? And I'm looking forward to it. It's a tough. We're going to be battle tested. There's no way about that, right?
I mean, I know I
team's gonna be
said
battle-tested.
the insider info on Tua with Dable, and I
Yeah,
know
you got
I think
that
this is
too.
going to be a battle, but I think this is going to be, even if the Giants lose a close game, this is going to be one of those where we're in the top quarter of the
Yes.
league. Like we can compete now, even though our talent is not what other teams are. Our coaching is.
Mhm.
And they get the best out of everybody that we got. So I think that's a good game, but I'm just counting that one as a loss.
You could arguably say
Yeah, I
that
think about 3 points, man.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the margin. It's a very small margin. We'll compete. We'll keep up with them, but I just think by a field goal we'll lose, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have the coaching advantage in about 75% plus of our games. but
Exactly.
maybe more. So
Exactly.
that's huge.
I got us
Nobody talks
4-2 right now too.
Yeah.
Monty with the
Going
fun
into the
facts.
Commanders game, October 22nd. Now I don't think we're gonna sweep them this year. I
are.
think we're gonna get.
Oh no,
Oh,
you're
okay.
right. Oh, we are.
Get the broom.
Okay, I like it. I like it. So, anyways, I got this the first game as a dub, 4-3. We're gonna win our the home game of the two, 100% in my opinion. This if Sam Howell isn't for real and if Brissett's just regular Brissett, not easy sweep. I think we sweep them, but if not. I mean, if they show a little bit more than what fucking Tyler Heineke showed last year, then I think we split with them this year. But I'm gonna chalk this one up to a win, 4-3. You guys, what you guys got? Both dubs?
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys are both dubs, right?
I got us.
Oh, yeah.
I got us sweeping Washington.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
dropping future nuggets here. I got us 3-3 in the division. We're sweeping Washington and we're beating Dallas at home.
I
Ooh,
can
figure
like
out
it.
the rest.
All right.
Like it.
All right.
Like it.
All right.
Okay, this is a tough one. New York on New York crime right here. Jets game right before Halloween.
That team, man. That team.
Rodgers.
Can I go first?
Go
Yeah.
get in there,
Yeah.
Hefe.
Go ahead, man.
This is one of the losses I have. I think
Ooh,
I
okay,
think you're
okay.
catching the Jets at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I think you're catching them as
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is really settling in, and he's comfortable there now at this point. And I'm
Fair.
I'm counting that as a loss for the Giants.
Okay, that's good. You're at
I'll say this, man.
5-3 now.
Unfortunately, that is a loss for the Giants. I really do see
okay.
the Jets making into the playoffs. I see the Jets making some noise in the AFC East. I see the Jets just being that team that's rejuvenated. They got their veteran quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. He's going to bring that swag, that leadership. That defense is amazing over there. They always find some great
You love the
defenses in
defense.
freaking in the Jets, man. But now they have the ultimate piece, which is their quarterback. You know what I mean? So this offense is going to look even different as well with that veteran. This is going to be a loss, and it's going to be unfortunately an ugly one.
I feel like it's going to be an ugly game for some reason.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
sloppy, low-scoring game. I don't know why.
Wow.
It's
really?
way
I
early
see,
to even
which is
have that
why-
vibe. That game is
It's
6
why.
months away, and I have a
Which
vibe.
is
know what,
why
that
I'm gonna
Jets-
say
Get Speed. I'm sorry.
this is why I'm going to say this is a victory for me. I think the Giants get a victory. I think it's going to get ugly. I think. Listen, the Jets didn't really go after a tackle this offseason, and tackle is where they're really weak. Aaron Rodgers is injury fucking prone. I'm going to say that he's going to be a little banged up for this matchup. I think the Giants get this W because they're going to have to steal wins somewhere in here if you envision them getting to 9+ wins. And this is where I got them stealing one in a more talented roster. Because make no mistake, Jets have a top 10 to top 5, borderline top 5 roster. I think Aaron Rodgers.
They got a shutdown corner too.
We played Aaron Rodgers very well every single fucking time we play him. Every single time. Packers, good teams. It doesn't matter. So I think that we own a little bit of a little rent-free piece of Aaron Rodgers' mind. And I got
This is a much better roster than Green Bay. Would you say, Speed?
No, I'm
like you said, it's
talking
gonna be.
vintage Green Bay, not last
Got
year's
you,
Green
got
Bay.
you,
I'm
got
talking
you.
old
Okay,
school Green
okay.
Bay teams.
I got you.
I think we win this one. We're all at 5-3 right now, by the way. All 5-3.
Right. It all makes
Various
sense.
different ways, but okay, they were going out to Vegas. Oh man, I want to get to this game so bad. This is one of those where I chalk up in my mind, like, yeah, this could be one I'm going to go to that I'm never actually going to go to. I have this as a W. You got to get this Raiders game. You have to win this Raiders game.
Gotta steal this one.
Yeah,
Gotta steal this one. I got it as a
Pepe,
W as well.
Are you opposed to this one? Is this might be okay? Dubs all across the board. I think they're transitioning. I don't fucking like McDaniels. McDaniels, I don't think is an NFL coach. I think we have the coaching advantage there. We all have us at 6-3 at this point, and who wouldn't sign up for this start, boys?
Of course.
After this many away games, 6-3. Are we being a little homeristic? Maybe, but in my mind, this is. I think we've all put good ideas out there.
But we have reasons. We
absolutely.
have reasons for the wins and losses. So even if it shakes out a little bit different, I could see this being the start. Like I believe in this team. If I'm wrong, then I'd rather believe in them in the offseason and be proven wrong than spend my days being miserable. So
100%.
Totally agree. Sign me up.
Be optimistic now. When are you going to be optimistic? Like,
Right.
Come on. So
Listen, I think every fan will sign up for a 6-3 start, no matter how we diced it here, because we all had a different way of getting to that 6-3, but we got to it. So, if anything, this is a great start. I'll take it, man. Sign me up.
I mean, you should come out of the start 5-4, hopefully at worst. Like at worst, you want to come out 5-4,
head above water. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Just head above water, and you get into the second half of the schedule. Also to note, late bye week this year, very late, which in my opinion, I like it. I like it. If you just grind through the first part, you get that benefit of and coming back off the bye is a Monday night game. So you even get an extra day on that side.
Not only that, like if you look at the away game November 19th, the next away game December 17th, you have a month where you don't have to get on an airplane, right?
Right.
Like that's a nice break, gear up for a playoff push.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now we're moving on. We're all at 6-3 at Dallas, November 12th. What do you got? E, lead us off.
Unfortunately, man, I see the Dallas get back, and we're gonna take that loss there. Unfortunately, yes, guys, hit that like button. Appreciate you, Mello. Hit that like button, please. Share, subscribe, guys, please. But I see a loss there. Unfortunately.
All right. Listen, it can't all be wins on the schedule. Hefe, what you got, man?
This one is a loss. I have this as a loss, but I will say this could, like Tina said, the Buffalo is his surprise win game. This could be the surprise win game.
Yeah.
It could be.
It's going to be a dogfight, and I think it's one where you got like that fourth quarter big play. Jalen Hyatt has flashed here and there, and this could be one of those games where you just have that guy go off that you didn't see it coming, and the Giants pull that off. So like, could be one of those sneaky wins. But for the sake of my overall prediction, I'm going to count that as a loss for now.
Fair. All right. I'm going to chalk it up to a loss too. We're all at 6-4. Again, a split with Dallas is good. A split is good. That shows progress because they've been fucking working us for years now. So you start working into closing the gap against Dallas, closing against a gap against Philly.
Ooh, I like that.
Want to get to.
Blow up, just a fucking blow up.
I like that.
And who better to do it against?
That's what you want. We want Hyatt to steal some games. Like it would just get a game where he just gets 2 bombs, easy bombs where he just burns people, and that's where we can't count for it right now because we don't know what's going to happen. But in our mind, that's what we drafted this guy for. He's a game changer.
And not only that, you want your young guys with that potential. Like one of the reasons I fell in love with Victor Cruz, and he's my favorite Giant. Love that dude. He played so good against the Eagles and Cowboys.
Yes.
Like he was always making big plays against them. You want the Giants fan base to support you for your whole life. Crush your division opponents.
Good.
Absolutely.
Know about it. Okay. So we all have a loss, probably a close loss or a sneaky win. We don't know. We're going to find out. Now this is the key one for you guys. Washington again in Washington. What do we got here? Do you guys got two dubs there?
We're sweeping them, man. That's a dub.
It's a dub. It's a dub. I mean, it's a dub.
Okay.
Look at their
Okay.
logo. Like they're telling you you're going to win against them.
All right. That's fair. And again, it depends on what the quarterback situation is. You guys are assuming that the quarterback's probably going to be lackluster again. And we have the coaching advantage. I think we do. I respect Ron Rivera, but I think we have the better coaching staff. That we'll see what Eric Bieniemy can do this year. That's going to be the key.
That's a good point.
I will
say I would put my money on this is Ron Rivera's last year as a head coach in the NFL.
Yes.
I think Bieniemy takes over after this year, and I think it's a transition plan for Washington. And it's going to look like that way, that kind of year for them. They might be close to 500 or whatever, but Giants have their number this year.
I like it. I like it. I'm going to chalk it up to a loss because I'm just going to say that I like Washington's roster overall. I think they have if you go roster for roster, I think they're right there with us, except for I think we have the quarterback position, and head coaching. I think that we have those are two very important areas. So I'm going to give us a slight advantage there. I think we very easily could sweep them depending on how their QB situation is. I'm just going to chalk it up to one of those games that we were pissed off that we blew our opportunity because there's going to be one of those on the schedule. There's going to be a blow opportunity game.
Yep. You don't know where the surprise wins or where the surprise losses are going to come from, but get it. So what are our records right now?
So we got 7-4, 7-4 for you two, 6-5 for me right now. Heading into the Patriots game. That's
so long as Joe Judge is on that staff and telling people what to do, that's a dub for the fucking Giants.
Yeah.
That's a dub.
Yeah.
The Patriots are not the Patriots anymore, guys. This is a whole new Patriots. This is a dub, all right? We're not afraid of the New England Patriots beating the crap out of the league anymore. No, that whole coaching staff just seems like it's at its limit. Like the GM, it just seems like it's at its limit over there.
Close.
And they seem like they're a beatable team no matter what these nowadays. So I got us taking that W, man. And we're going to sneak one by. I think so for sure.
It's at home. The biggest thing that worries me is Belichick just pulling some fucking rabbit out the hat that maybe confuses DJ. But I think we have the better roster. I think, like you said, they are on the precipice of doing a rebuild. I don't believe in Mac Jones. I don't believe in basically their whole roster. So they will still have a decent defense. They always do. But I do think this is one of those must-have games that you have to have. And
we're gonna make Judge run a lap.
Judge is running fucking all the laps. Get his ass out there. Can't believe he's in the NFL.
All right, so going into the bye, quick record check here.
Quick record check. I'm 7-5. You two are 8-4. We're still we're in a good spot.
I like it.
And this is why you love the late bye because you're recharging. It's basically a whole reset, and you go into the stretch run fresh as fuck. Fresh as fuck. Just ready to go. And then, like I said, Green Bay on the back end. It's on Monday night game. You even get an extra day on the back end. So everybody's got to be ready to go. What do you guys got for the Green Bay game? We don't know what it's all about. Jordan Love, huh? Right? It's whatever guy he comes out to be. But what do you got? Efe?
You might Hef. I'm sorry.
You go ahead. You go.
Speed. You know what, man? What I'm afraid of, and Hef, you probably agree here too. We're never good off a bye. Like we just can't get anything together off a bye week. And unfortunately, I have the Giants losing that one against Love, man.
Okay.
It's the heartbreak
game.
This is the heartbreak game where you're like, yo, we're supposed to win.
Yeah.
And we just unfortunately dropped the ball because we're just a little too rusty or whatever it is. But no matter what coaches the Giants, that bye week is just always just terrible, unfortunately. It's been historic.
Yes.
So unfortunately I got us, doing the same thing. We take the loss, but it'll be in unfortunately a dramatic fashion where we're like, I just can't believe this happened. And Twitter will go crazy.
Shitty games.
Yeah, it's just gonna be one of those games.
I will say, Eli, traditionally, yes, the Giants struggle after the bye. If I'm reading this correctly, last year the Giants came off the bye on November 13th and smacked the Texans 24-16.
Beat the Texans wasn't great looking.
Did I say smacked? Did I say smacked?
Yes, it was more of like just like a little.
Well,
a little tap.
We got smacked next week by the Lions. So shit can happen. But this is Brian Daboll's Giants.
Yeah,
erase everything Daniel Jones did before Brian Daboll.
Okay, fair enough. So we got 8-5 with me and E. and then Hefe at 9-4. Going into New Orleans. This is
fun
always
game.
usually a house of horrors.
This is a fun
I
game.
love this. I love this. I love this.
What do you got, Hefe? What do you got on this one? David Carr now quarterbacking a pretty good roster. What do we got? What do we got here?
High scoring. Very high scoring game.
Yes.
But I think our defense makes big plays down the stretch, shuts them down. They make Derek Carr throw that late pick, and the Giants get out of there with a dub.
Okay. E, what you got, man?
Let me tell you, man. I love when we play New Orleans.
Because
this team, like the Giants, just seems like they come alive when they play New Orleans, right? Especially in that stadium. It's supposed to be the loudest stadium on earth, next to the 12th man, obviously, but it's very loud in there. It's dome. The fans are passionate, and the Giants is just going to be charged up, man. I think we got a dub there, and I think we squeeze one by a touchdown late in the fourth quarter, man. And I think that's going to be an awesome game to watch. It's fun, high scoring, man.
That is a tricky one, though. That could easily be one of those sneaky losses.
It can be.
It could easily go.
I'm telling you, Saints roster is fucking good. It is very good, and it's going to be. And I have this, unfortunately, as a loss here because again, going into New Orleans, they just always seem to have a little bit of our number here.
That's after a Monday Night Football game.
It's a short week. It's set up to not be the optimal situation for a W.
I had the same vibe. I just feel like that's a defense game. That's a game the defense wins for you. There are going to be games where you play balance, and there are going to be games that the offense or defense wins it for you. That's a defense game.
That's a defense game for sure. All right, so I'm at 8-6. Eli's at 9-5. And Jeff, you're at 10-4 headed into this stretch here. You might even surpass your own expectations of what you.
No, I'm on track. Trust me.
Oh, you're on track. Okay. All right. So now we got the Philly game in Philly, Christmas Day. Again, still the best roster in the league here. Still the best roster in the league. I got us at 8-7. I just think it's one of those Christmas Day. They're going to be loaded, ready to go. Not going to want to lose in front of their home crowd on Christmas Day. I have it as again, not 48-17 kind of fucking loss. It's not going to be a blowout anymore. I think we got better against the run, but we're going to take the L here. It's going to be like a 10-point game. I'd say 10-point game where they pull away late. Tough loss, 8-7 for me. E, what you got?
I'm going to tell you this, man. My fandom says a W. My fandom says we're going to win by
that's a shock the world kind of win.
And we're going to go and win. It's going to be a surprise to everyone. But unfortunately, guys, I have to think logically here. This is the best roster in the league. These guys just made it to the Super Bowl. Yes, I understand. Both coordinators are the hell out of there. But one thing about their head coach is he knows how to pick people around him. Because we've seen it, right? Unfortunately, man, I want it to be a Christmas miracle, but logically, unfortunately, man, it's going to be a loss, and it's going to be a terrible fashion, unfortunately. And this is going to be one of those Christmas mornings where we're going to be like
Christmas massacre.
Oh my gosh, man, it's just going to ruin the entire day for us. And unfortunately, man,
4:30. So we're on the back. We've already opened our presents.
We opened the gifts. We're going to drink a whole lot more. That's it.
Hey, and I want to get your thoughts on this real quick. Game on Christmas, shitty or not for you guys? And they've had this talk on the radio here. Are you happy about it? Are you sad about it? Are you pissed?
I don't mind if we win. If we lose,
that's all. I guess that's really what all.
I think it's only
down to.
I think it's only viewed. It's only viewed as shitty because of the opponent. Like the Eagles are a top roster, and it's an expected loss. So you're thinking, fuck, that's gonna mess up Christmas. But if it was a softer game, you'd be like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
I'm pumped. It's right in the middle of dinner.
I think we're going to compete. Like I don't think I think we're going to compete. We're going to do well. It's just unfortunately, and then later in the quarter, the second half, they're just going to pull away, and it's just going to be like, oh my gosh, they're going to make that halftime adjustment, and then unfortunately, the Eagles is just going to pull away, and they're going to be like, oh, this just turned ugly. You know,
have a philosophy. What you got? What you got for us on this one?
That's an L. Until the Giants prove otherwise, I'm not predicting them beating the Eagles.
Fair. Okay. So 10-5 for Hefe, 9 for E, 8-7 for me. Going into coming back home on New Year's Eve versus LA Rams. Good vibes, in my opinion. LA is going to be done. They're quitting. They're about to rebuild after this. Just W. It better be a fucking W. That's all I gotta say.
It's a dub.
Dub city.
You nailed it. LA's in trouble. They went all in on one season and it worked, and they're going to be a mess by this point.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. So we're sitting pretty. We're all in agreement. That's an easy one. Now this last one is the very key one because, listen, we don't know what Philly we're going to get. If we're looking at the top roster in the league, we could be looking at the same situation as last year where they're just coasting, and they rested players last year and it worked for them. So logically thinking, they might be at 12-5, 13 wins at that point. Could be resting everybody again. Get Jalen ready to go. So this is where I have a sneaky, and again, I predicted 9-8, but now that I've worked my way through the schedule, I got us at 10-7 with a layup last game to get to 10-7. Where they're saying they're starters. So
is that to secure a wild card for you?
I think it's to secure that spot, that wild card spot for sure. I just think they're going to sit everybody. I think they're too fucking good. They're too good. They're going to be so far ahead of everybody that they're resting. That's my take on that game. What do you got, E?
I see it differently, Spee. Even though they'll have a great record, I think by that time they'll probably rest some starters, right? Maybe not. But I think that they're going to go gun-ho, man, and just win that game outright. Unfortunately, I got the Giants losing that one at home, and I don't think they're going to rest much starters by then. I think they're just going to keep the foot to the pedal and aim for that Super Bowl to win it all. That's just what I think. Don't play it scared, man. You got to go for it. I think they're going to
what do you have
switch
this?
it up.
You have this as I
have it as a loss, unfortunately. They're going to win. Yeah, I have this as a loss for the Giants.
So you're ended up at 10-7 too. Okay. And Hefe, this is
I was 11-5 coming into this one, which should have you in the race for the division. I have the Eagles winning the division, but I do have this as a loss, which will be 11-6 for us. That's how I get to 11-6. Again, I'm not you can't predict what kind of situation this will be, who's resting. It could be very similar to last year where the Giants have nothing to play for. Right. But it didn't work last year, and the Eagles smoked us in the playoffs. So maybe you step up to the plate this year and give it a go. Maybe you would have learned something about how to game plan for them in the playoffs, as opposed to resting and learning nothing but securing your players. So that was the coin flip of that decision last year. Don't know exactly how it plays out this year, but I'm not predicting us beating the Eagles.
Okay. Well, listen, we all got double-digit wins when we went through the whole thing. And again, let us preface this by this is a way too early prediction. This is way too early, but we like having fun and we like putting our names on something. I think that we all have realistic expectations for each of the games.
You're both 10-7.
Both 10-7 for me and E. You got 11-6. You've been touting 11-6 the whole time.
I'm standing
on it. I was going to end up
switch that camera, man. Switch that camera. I got to get the whole.
I got
back in the middle here.
There we go. That looks better. That looks amazing. Looks amazing. Well, go ahead, Speed.
I thought I was going to end up at 9-8, and then there it is. The look. But I ended up at 10-7. I'm happy about it. And again, we don't know. There still might be some veterans added to this team. There's going to be injuries before the season starts. It's all about when you get to play people, how they're playing, who their previous opponent is, who's injured. That's really what matters when it comes to the actual season itself. Did we chalk up Baltimore and Green Bay wins last year? No, we didn't. So
not even Tennessee. None of
right. There's going to be teams that look better than what they look like now. There's going to be teams that look worse.
You're right. And Stas pointed out something, and I'm taking Stas's word for it. But he was like, on paper, the Giants had one of the easiest schedules last year. The adjusted strength of schedule at the end of the year was actually the 8th hardest because down the stretch, the Giants had like a brutal stretch down. So like it really doesn't matter until the end of the season where you can look back and say, who did you actually play? Because rosters change like 30% every year. So so much of it changes. So that's just what you're starting with, right? So
absolutely, that was fun, guys. I had a good time.
Yeah,
it was awesome, man. Like,
hey, chat, thank you for
quick show. It was awesome.
Yes. He brought the hair today. We have to see the Jeff philosophizer a little bit more. We got to see him. We got to see Jeff Adamas more.
We'll see if he comes back.
We got We've got a couple of people predicted out there. We got I see 8-8s. I see 12-5s. I see 10-7s. I see Dash with 10-7. What's up, Dash?
Big Dash, what's up, brother?
Yeah, listen, I think what you like to do is gap it, like and the gap what I see is mostly 10 to 11. 8 to 11 is the normal gap. You can even say mostly 8 to 10. I think Jeff, you might even be a little bit of an outlier. 8 is even almost a little bit outlier. It's 9 to 10 is that gap that I've seen a lot. So
yeah,
you don't know how it's going to go.
If I could sum it up. And I think Pest did just beautifully here. Big, meatly men slapping meat.
It's true. It's true. So you wrap
Shout
it up.
out Pest, man. Shout out PTA Sports, man. Go subscribe to that channel. He's doing some big things coming soon. What a studio he got there. We'll talk about that on the next time.
You're right.
There,
Everyone. You're right, though, Spee. Everyone. And go definitely subscribe to Pest. Sorry to cut you off here.
Absolutely.
But everyone's right in that range.
Yes.
Sarge, 7 and 6.
Sarge, 11 and 6.
12 and 5.
Yeah.
10 and 7. So we should be in that 10 to 12 range. There's going to be some coin flip games. Do you come out on top? My reason for optimism, maybe being a little, I'm so high on Dable.
Yeah.
And we got both coordinators back. Guess what? Philly lost both coordinators and they lost a bunch of starters. So they also have the same type of schedule that they have technically the hardest schedule.
Yeah.
So the Eagles I don't think they're going to have a cakewalk this year like they did last year.
Yeah,
and they also had a lot of luck with injuries. So it could be a much harder year for them. So the Giants could be in the mix this year and surprise some people.
I'm going to expand on your thought, and I'm going to drop this, and I truly believe this. We have the best coaching staff in the NFC East. Sorry, NFC East. I might even say, outside of Shanahan, I think we have the best coaching staff, top to bottom. You go offensive coordinator, you go defensive coordinator, you go head coach. Our trio, man, I'll put up our trio against anybody.
I love them.
I'll do it.
I hope they could have a 3 or 4 year run would be awesome.
I hope so too. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it, baby. But let's see what we got. One last question for you guys. What negative side? What lost? What win total is the lowest acceptable win total for you guys? To not be too pissed off to where you're like, okay, we're still in this thing. We're still heading in the right direction.
9 games only. 9 games only.
9 games the floor for this.
That's
9 games the floor for us.
That's the floor, man. Because wasn't it? There were 9 last year, right? 9 whatever and 1.
6 and 1.
9,
6
7,
and 1. So you can't go under that. You just can't, because then you're like, what the hell is this coaching staff doing? So you either got to match it or exceed it, in my opinion.
Okay.
So 9 got to be the floor.
That last year, that tie, we were 9, 7, and 1. That tie in Washington, which was a Feliciano flag that I think ruined that game. We had that game won against Washington. I see us as a 10 and 7 team last year.
Okay.
Right? 9, 7, and 1. That would have been 10 and 7. That's last year. So if you go to 9 wins in this upcoming year, being able to build on all of that, not having to start everything from fresh,
schedule.
that would yes, but we should be tougher.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So nine wins,
Absolutely.
9 wins would be disappointing, and you might miss out on the playoffs. So that would be hugely disappointing. So it's got to be 10 and up.
Oh, so you're 10. You're 10 and up. Okay.
I like that.
I'm going to say for me, and I might be different. I would say 8 and 9 for me because I don't know injury wise how it's going to turn out. So I could see us having, but I think our new floor should be minimum 8 wins and up. Which is again. Anything goes wrong, we finished 1 game under 500 in that case. Some things have gone wrong. Maybe Jones is not taking the next step. Maybe we just lost we lost both the Miami, the tough give or take games. Maybe we lost each one of them by a point, by 3 points. For me, 8 wins, showing progress, showing that we closed the gap on the Dallas and Eagles and the top teams. I'd still be okay with that.
That's what we need to
knowing
see
that
this
we're
year.
building the roster,
Close the gap.
Yeah. Knowing that we're building everything the right way, and that we just lost a couple of tough games, and we're still trending in the right direction. DJ makes still look good,
But you know what, Speed? I won't mind if some Giants fans still be like, even though we're closing the gap, they still want to see W's. Because think about it, right?
I get it.
With Joe Judge, and this is just giving more, credit to those guys out there in Twitterverse that you know what, I don't want to close the gap. I want W's because listen, with Joe Judge, we thought we were closing the gap on some of those games. Like, you know what, they're getting better, they're getting this and then that, and the wins just wasn't there. No, now we want the wins because we made the playoffs, right?
All right.
So we don't want to go backwards. We want to actually make those playoffs again, and hopefully the second round. That should be the expectation. So I understand some of those guys that are out there that's saying like, no, I want to make the playoffs. I want that. There is no flaw, but 10 wins or more. Go ahead and rock with it, man. But I'm with you, Speed, man. You got to understand, this is Rome isn't built in a day. We're going to take
It's
some
not always
time.
linear.
And,
It's not always
this
linear.
team-
That's
no,
what I'm trying to say.
this team still has a lot of holes, still has a lot of things that they have to get better on. So,
Yeah.
We'll see from there. And I like the hair movement, man. It's amazing. All right.
You're
All right,
gonna get
listen.
that once in a while. I'm not gonna tell you when it's coming, but
To
just-
end
I like
on
it. I like
on a
it.
high note, we all have double-digit wins for our New York Giants in 2023. So let's fucking go, people. Hey, listen, chat. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful freaking Friday. Get outside, touch some grass because it's beautiful where we are. I hope it's beautiful where you guys are too. Hefe, E, you guys got anything else? E, you want to close us out? What do you think, man? We had a good show today.
Man, listen, we had a great show, and thank you for spending your Friday afternoon with us, man. The chat was going crazy. Hit that thumbs up now
that.
before it's too late, please. It is free. It just helps us. Please, it's free. Hit those
it's free,
thumbs up, man.
free.
It's free. All right, shout out Pest, man. And on behalf of my brothers here, man, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Spee if you nasty, man. My brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Jefe Snuffleupagus. We got New York Revival. Peace, boy. Yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one. Yeah,
Eli Rax, El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the Revival.